Well, good morning. Today is Healing Sunday. So today I'm going to talk about emotional healing comes before physically healing. What we don't understand until we heal the hurt within, the body keeps reminding us that something deeper needs our attention. You see, we're born in a natural state of homeostasis. And when we're in a relaxed state, we're not in fight or flight, our body's immune system functions perfectly and there is no disease, nothing to hurt. But however, the more we start to change that inner feeling where stress comes in, guess what happens? Man, the key thing is we think we can heal the body from the outside, when in respect, we've got to heal it from the inside. You see, we live in a culture that often treats symptoms but avoids the root causes. No pill, no surgery, no outer treatment can bring lasting healing if the inner wound, the emotional wound, remains untouched. This is where allopathic Western medicine falls short. They're treating the symptom. They're giving us a pill, they're giving us a surgery, they're giving us, you name it. But that doesn't bring the healing. That relieves the symptoms. The true healing happens when we address the emotional wound that we've not yet healed within us. So the body for each of us, for everyone, is a messenger. And here's the key thing. The body doesn't lie. It tells you what it's feeling. You just have to listen. You see physical pain, chronic illness, fatigue. Often these are the body's ways of telling us that unresolved emotions have been stored. And that's what we do. When we have pain, we don't want to deal with it. We store that emotion. We have the pain again. We store that emotion and it builds and it builds and it builds until there's a physical pain, there's a chronic illness, there's fatigue, and that's the body simply trying to tell us we need to deal with the emotional backlog that we've built up. You see, suppressed grief, anger, resentment, guilt, or fear do not disappear. They lodge in our nervous system, in the muscles, and in the immune system. And when they lodge there, they stay there sending signals. What kind of signals? Signals to the body, the pain, and all of that. And until we address them, nothing will change. Dr. DeMartini, one of my favorite teachers, says that every illness has an emotional or root cause. Whether you agree with him, whether you agree with him or not, the principle is clear. The body holds what the heart has not released. Yeah, we hold on to stuff and we just bury it instead of just letting it flow through us. And that's a problem. That's a problem. You've got to experience it, let it move through you, and let it go and realize it's not personal. One of the key things to understand is that energy must move to heal. And what are emotions? Emotions are energy in motion. When we feel them fully, they move through us. When we resist or suppress them, they stagnate and they become toxic. You see, science now is catching up. Trauma research shows that unresolved emotional experience dysregulate the nervous system and weaken the immune system. Science now understands that our unresolved emotional issues that cause our immune system to break down. So to heal physically, we must allow our emotions to flow, cry the tears, speak the unspoken truth, forget what has been held in the heart so that we can move forward and return to homeostasis. When the emotional energy moves, the body begins to recalibrate. Recalibrate, what does that mean? Return to homeostasis. Healing is the recognition of wholeness. The word heal comes from the same root as whole. Healing is not just about a body free from systems. It's about aligning the body, mind, and spirit into understanding that it's already whole and perfect. When we bring compassion to our inner child, we acknowledge and love the parts of us that have been shamed, silenced, or ignored, and then the body responds. We have to be compassionate. We have to be understanding to that inner child, that wounded child, and love all those parts, accept all those parts, and then the body just comes forth. You see, healing is not about perfection. It's about wholeness. And wholeness begins and cannot begin without emotional honesty. So what is the path to emotional healing? First, it's awareness. Notice what you feel without judgment. Don't label it as good or bad. Notice the sensation. Notice the feeling. Judgment takes you where? Out of love. So when you notice what you feel with love, you notice it by just witnessing it and not judging it. The second path is expression. Find safe ways to express emotions. Journaling, therapy, spiritual practice. Here's a big one. Talking with trusted friends. Friends who are there to just listen and say, hey, wait a second, dude, or dudette. You're looking at this completely from ego. You probably have something repressed here. What could that be? You want friends who ask you empowering questions, because those are friends that are meaning. Those are friends that are worthwhile. Once you've expressed it in a safe way and you're aware of it, then you go to forgiveness. You release the past, not to excuse, but you free yourself from carrying the poison forward. You see, forgiveness is about freeing yourself. It has nothing to do with the other person. And then the next one is to be compassionate, to be gentle with yourself. Every scar, inner or outer, is a part of your human journey. And when you start to understand that, you realize that every scar is there to awaken you. Every challenge is to awaken you. Awaken you to what? To your wholeness. What happens when you're whole? You heal. As emotional wounds heal, the body no longer carries the burden. Often the physical pain lessens, and sometimes it disappears. But what I understand as well is that emotional healing takes time and work. And if emotional healing takes time and work, then physical healing takes time and work as well. So how do we apply this spiritually? Well, number one, meditation teaches us, helps us to witness our emotions without drowning in them. Meditation helps us become the observer. Affirmations reprogram the mind. An affirmation like, I allow myself to feel. I allow myself to heal. Isn't that beautiful? I allow myself to feel. I allow myself to heal. You see, breath work clears stagnant energy. We have learned to breathe so shallow instead of just deep. If you're breathing in for 4 count, you should be breathing out for at least a 6 count. That type of breath clears stagnant energy. And then the last thing I would suggest is gratitude, because gratitude softens the heart, restores balance. One of my affirmations that I do every day is, I live in balance as I see the balance and perfection in all life. No, it's, I live in gratitude as I see the balance and perfection in all life. What does that mean? It means that I'm equally challenged and supported in every moment. That's the balance. I recognize, I'm aware that I'm equally challenged and supported in every moment. So let's talk about living this path. First off, it's not about perfection. It's about persistence. I like to call it P&C, persistent and consistent behavior. It's the key to success in everything. Perfection is something that never is achieved. But if you're persistent and consistent in your direction, man, are you going to get results. It's to see setbacks as not failure, but feedback. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, it failed. Whoa, maybe I need to do something different. Yes. I love to look at things as feedback. And the key thing is, you've got to anchor into your daily practice. You got to breathe. You got to be becoming more aware. You got to take aligned actions. Daily practice includes those things that are most important to you. It's about persistent and consistent practices. And then the other thing is to view transformation not as a destination, but as a way of living. You see, if you understand your whole, you understand you're the infinite expressing, you understand that your job is to realize your wholeness, to realize your infinite nature, it's going to take infinity to get there. So what is transformation? It's a journey. So I wanted to give you some affirmations that you can use this week. First one is, I'm willing to feel so that I may fully heal. I'm willing to feel so I may fully heal. Second, every breath I take releases old pain and welcomes new life. Every pain I take releases old pain and welcomes new life. I'm whole, I am loved, I am healed. See the beauty of that one. If you recognize you're whole, you understand you're not being judged and you're loved. And when you're being loved and whole, you are healed. So it comes down to this. Healing is an inside job. The body is a garden, but the emotions are the soil. If the soil is toxic, the plant cannot thrive. But when we heal the soil, the plant nourishes naturally. Pretty simple analogy, but a lot of great wisdom in that. So if you're seeking physical healing, start by asking, what in me longs to be felt, acknowledged, forgiven, or released? This is a big question. What in me longs to be felt, acknowledged, forgiven, and released? When you identify that, now you can do the work that will change your life.